Hey guys, it's Maymay, and tonight we are going to make this gorgeous little Easter basket from paper. This is a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and this is a 1-inch strip from a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and then a little bit of adornment. How cute is this, right? So I'm going to show you how to make it and how to create a template that you can have to make them over and over again. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a piece of paper that is 4 inches by 6.5 inches. This is going to help us build the template for the sides of the basket. Now, if you make this basket smaller, you're going to have to adjust your sizes. But if you do it this size, you'll be fine. You can use this every time. Now I'm going to use my scoreboard for a moment. And this is how I'm going to do my measurements so that it's super easy. Okay? The first score mark is at the 6. Okay? Then we're going to do 5 1/4. We're going to do 1/2, and then we're going to do 1 1/4. Okay, so basically you're doing 1/2 inch and then 3/4 away from that 1/2 inch, and then here you're doing it you're coming in 1/2 inch and you're doing it 3/4 inch away from that 1/2 inch. So if you remember these marks, 1/2, 1 1/4, 5 1/4, and 6, you'll be good. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a straight edge and a bone folder. If you have one of those cutters that you can put this in and score it with the cutter, that would work too, as long as you're just scoring and not cutting. But I'm going to use a straight edge. Okay, my ruler is not in here. It is still packed up from my card party, so I'm going to use this as my straight edge. It's just one of my Cuttlebug plates. And I'm going to sit this down, and I'm going to line it up from that 1/2 inch score down to my 3/4 inch away score, and I'm going to score. And I slid. Press down, not over. Okay, so now I have this angled score line. So now we're going to do that on the other side. I know this seems like a lot of work, but once you put this together one time, this piece right here will be what you use for repeated use. Okay, so now I have a score line there. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to eyeball this because it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to bring my scissors out to this corner, okay, put them on that corner, and then following that angled score line down, I'm going to cut. See that? Good deal. And now I'm going to angle in. We're creating a tab. See that? And coming from my score line out, angle again. So I have just created a tab on one side. If you need to watch this repeatedly, watch it repeatedly. No big deal. Now over here, it's even easier. You're going to cut on your angled score line. Now, you only need the tab on one side, but by go ahead and doing your markings, you're prepared for whichever side you want to line it up on. So, I mean, you could make your tab over here and cut this off whichever way you want to do it, but now you have a template, okay? Now let's do the next part. So now I have my big scoreboard and a 12-inch piece of paper. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to score this at 4, at 8. I'm going to turn it, score it at 4, and at 8. And once you've scored it, I'm going to turn it over so you can see the lines. Once you've scored it those times, you get a grid. So you're going to have all these little squares, and we're going to use this to our advantage momentarily. So all you're going to do is score it at 4 and 8, turn it, score it at 4 and 8. Okay? Now I'm going to use the pale side for this, and I'm actually going to use a marker for you guys so you can see it, okay? You're going to start up here in this corner, and you're going to be using these score lines, which you probably cannot see in this paper. If you can, that's awesome. But if not, just know you're going to use these 2 score lines, and you're going to take that template you just made, and you're going to line these score lines up with those score lines. That's what makes it super easy, using our score lines. Just like so. And you can feel and make sure they're right. Then you're going to trace it on. Like I said, don't use a marker, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to trace this. And you do not have to trace the bottom because you're not going to cut that away. I'm going to trace this side. And again, that's all the tracing you have to do. Now, we're going to turn this and sit it here, right on our other score line. Feel around and make sure you got it. Do our tracing. I don't think I got it there. Whoops. Same thing. Line it up. Line it up. Trace. And trace. I did this way because I didn't want to make a template and have to charge you for it. And at this point, my Etsy store makes me charge no matter what. I don't know how to put anything up there for free because for some reason they have it set up where you can't. So I thought if I did it this way, I could just show you how to make the template and then you're on your way. Okay? Alright, so there's our marks that we need to cut out. So now we're just going to cut on all of our dark lines, and when you do yours you probably won't use dark lines, but you'll just cut on whatever you use. Super easy, because remember we're going to take long strokes with the point of our scissor as the guide. You always want to take long strokes because that gets you a nice smooth cut. Don't do short choppy strokes. If you want to make a whole bunch of these, this is something you could trace. Sit down in front of a movie, cut out a whole bunch, make one for everybody. That'd be super cute. You can see how easy this is to cut. It's not difficult at all. Not difficult at all. And guys, I have tried to do this so many ways to make this easy. Last night I worked and worked and worked on doing the template, but this is the easiest way I could come up with. Maybe I'm just not good at this, but this was the easiest way. For me anyway. I'm sure other people will be like, Amy, you're just missing it. But I put in a lot of hours at work this week. And because I started a new job, and I'm thinking, this is pretty good for me to come up with. Okay, at this point. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to score here. And we can do it just like we just did earlier. Or you can put this in your scoring, in your cutting board. But I'm just going to do it with a straight edge just like I did. And I'm going to go from that point to this corner. And remember, we hand cut these tabs, so they may not be perfectly straight, but they'll do just fine. Now at this point, you have two options. You can use this for your template and use it for 12 by 12 paper all the time, or you can just use this as your template and trace it 4 times. So if you want to make one of these, you have a perfect template, just write on what it is and just put it away somewhere so you have it for your Easter basket. Now, there is one more thing I want to do, and I didn't want to do this in the beginning because I want to show you how you can come back after you've traced your template and cut it out onto the paper you want to use and do this part. So you're going to place this into your scoreboard, and you're going to score down 1 inch. Okay, so find your 1 inch mark and score, just like so, and just turn it and do that all the way around. This is going to be the fold on the basket, so you can show off your two-sided piece of paper. Just make sure you're doing them all at 1 inch. You can do them at ½ inch. They don't have to be 1. You can do this at any increment you want. You just want to make sure you go ahead and do that now. Okay, let's start folding. So, before we fold, we're going to cut away these little tabs we just did because we don't need them. Right there, down to our score line that we just made and that little bit of the tab because we don't need it. So just do that all the way around. So that way when you make your little fold, you'll just have the basket topper fold. I know it seems like a lot of steps. The biggest step is making your template. Once you have your template, this will go fast. Super fast. we are ready to fold. I'm going to fold this tab in. Fold this one in. And these tabs do go in because we're going to hide them inside. And now before you put adhesive on, go ahead and fold your centers down. Go ahead and get your square folded, your base. I learned that the hard way. I was playing last night and I put my adhesive on and then I couldn't get a good score because the adhesive would stick down over here when I pushed it. So make sure you do this ahead of time. See, I let you learn from my mistakes. Okay, and I try. So now the next thing I would do, because it will be easier, is flip this over and go ahead and fold down your basket top. This is that 1-inch score we made. It seems fidgety and fussy, but it's not. And now you don't have to worry about those being flat. Alright, now your adhesive. I'm going to use ATG, and I think you probably, unless you're going to fill this really heavy, this would probably be enough. If you're just going to put candy and grass in it, this should be fine. But if not, if you want to use a liquid adhesive, you got plenty of tab to do that with. Now then, we're going to bring these together. And what I like to do is line up this side, because I'm not going to see the tab. I want the outside to look right. Get it where I want it, and then press it in place by laying it down. So see, my tab doesn't bother me so much, but this, I want to make sure this corner's right. So again, I'm going to match up the edges on the outside as close as I can. Press that into place. Match up and press. Match up and press. Now fold these guys down. Now in the instance that you did not cut your tabs really, really deep, you may have to trim this away. No big deal. Just do this number. Just to kind of flatten it. Okay. Works better from this side. So now we have, look, our little beginnings of our basket. Look how cute this is. Okay, here's the other thing I did. I took a little corner rounder, and even though this corner's not perfect, I just pushed this in there and rounded it because I think that is so cute with that little tiny round edge. So do that all the way around. Okay, so now all my edges are rounded, and now you can see that we have the beginnings of a super cute basket. Okay, I'm going to crease these down tighter. And now see how they're laying good? Now we just need to make a handle. Super easy. I'm going to take a piece of 12 by 12 inch cardstock and cut an inch strip off. And that is going to be my handle. But it's got to be cuter than that, right? So let's do a little decorating. On the Close to My Heart paper that I used here, this is something cool about them. They have these strips on the edge of their paper that don't take away from your 12 by 12 measurement. I'm going to put this here because it goes with this paper and it will be so cute on this handle. This paper is probably discontinued, but it's called Stella. May not be. I think this was a fairly new pack. I can't remember, but some of you Close to My Heart folks, say in the comments below if this paper is still available. I love it. I bought a bunch of it. Okay, now I'm going to center this to the best of my ability. Remember, it's paper craft. It does not have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. So now I have my little basket handle, and I'm going to start curling it like this in my hand. Just because this will help us with a good bend. Especially if you're going to layer your cardstocks like I just did. Okay, next thing is adhesive right here on the bottom. Now, you could use a brad. Wouldn't that be cute if you did it with a little brad on one end? Or on the ends, that would be super cute. You could do, just wet adhesive and then decorate the outside, whichever way you want to do it. And here's what I did. I laid this down on its side, and I used my cutting mat as a guide. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I know I want to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these two will be where my 1-inch handle goes. Just place that down and stick it. Now this side should be easier because you're just going to make sure your handle's good and straight. And stick it. Now look at this precious basket. I love it. I just love this basket. Now imagine all the decorating you can do to this. Fill it up with cute little things. Hold on. I get these from the Dollar Tree. I love the craft paper crinkles. Can you see the little crinkles? Fill this up with these. And they don't weigh anything. This little crinkle doesn't. More Dollar Tree stuff. These are those little eggs that we've already used once this year. Let's pour some of those in. I got 3 colors, so I'm going to mix it up. And then add candy. How cute would this be with some little candies in it, and maybe put these on your coworker's desk when they come in, or it would just be so cute. You'll be able to see this much better in pictures. And when you put little embellishments on it, oh, I know a cute one. You recognize this punch I love so much? The button punch. Let's do some buttons. Got some baker's twine. I'm going to feed this through just 2 of the little holes. This side, and then I'm going to go over here to the other one that is across from it. And then tie a bow. Make sure that's in the middle. Just like that. Oh, look how cute. Okay, stick some adhesive on it. And then place this guy right here where these meet, like it's holding the handle on. Now look how cute. Isn't that adorable? I can't wait to show you pictures so I can have it, you know, at a good angle. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's how you're going to make it. The worst part of this basket is making your first template. Once you have this and can cut out the big template, you can just knock these out over and over and over again. I hope that helps you. I did not find an easier way to do this. I looked online and was trying to find an easier way, and there may be one, but I don't know it. And if there is, please share it with me and all the viewers. But this is how I made mine. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I will see you guys again on Monday. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.